Stinchfield. So one of the most important issues facing America today is our military readiness. Not only do we have a commander-in-chief with declining and almost non-existent cognitive abilities, but we have the same man who wants to turn our military into a social experiment. Make no mistake, our enemies are watching. They are salivating as our military becomes weaker and weaker. They are now spending valuable time in the classroom, the military is, studying racism and a whole bunch of other woke agenda items. They're also studying racism and its history instead of studying battlefield theory. It is dividing our military, which may be the one organization that needs to be unified more than any other. Just listen to the Biden woke propaganda being pushed on our soldiers.
Just by posting, retweeting, or liking an offensive post on social media, you could be participating in extremism. You may not personally know any shipmates with extremist beliefs, but I assure you that those forces of darkness are among us.
They found hardly any when asked how many shipmen, how many soldiers, Marines, were pulled aside because they're extremists. A handful out of tens of thousands of soldiers, Marines, etc. The forces of darkness surround Joe Biden. That's where the forces of darkness are, and they want our military transformed. All this week, folks, we will be digging into a military gone woke. We expose the hidden Biden agenda behind it and what you can do to help fight back. In just minutes, we'll explain why generals, once known as strong leaders, are now wilting under Team Biden's pressure to go woke. But first, we begin with this tonight. Team Biden made a stunning admission over the weekend, and they didn't even realize it. In their quest to dupe you, they equated COVID with tyranny, something I've been warning about since the beginning. I want you to look at what is happening in Cuba. Mass protests are erupting in more than 30 Cuban cities. The people in Cuba want what? You know what they want? Freedom and liberty. And they face food shortages right now. The infrastructure in Cuba is crumbling and medical supplies are scarce. So are the drugs. Of course, this is all the result of communism, not COVID. The very same communist principles Team Biden is pushing in America. So instead of calling out the brutal Castro dictatorship, the State Department, an assistant secretary over there, her name is Julie Chung, she tweeted this. Peaceful protests are growing in Cuba, she writes, as the Cuban people exercise their right to peaceful assembly to express concern about rising COVID cases, deaths, and medicine shortages. Is she kidding? You see, that statement makes two things clear. Deep down, Team Biden realizes that the China virus has people across the globe outraged by the amount of oppression leveled by governments on the people, especially America. It's an admission that that's how Americans view it as oppressive. But it also shows the lengths Team Biden will go to excuse communism and hide the will of the masses who desire freedom. They bury it. So today, Jen Psaki tried to backtrack on Julie Chung's deceitful tweet.
There's every indication that yesterday's protests were spontaneous expressions of people who are exhausted with the Cuban government's economic mismanagement and repression. And these are protests inspired by the harsh reality of everyday life in Cuba, not people in another country.
Let me be clear about this. Their chants of libertad and Cuba isn't yours are not about COVID-19, and Team Biden knows it. It's why Jen Psaki had to walk back those comments about oppression, okay? Because it's not about that. And Team Biden's quest to hide that fact is proof they know Americans are fed up with oppression here. We don't want more, we want less. We also know the China virus continues to be weaponized in an all-out effort to control us. Listen to Dr. Fauci on CNN.
I have been of this opinion, and I remain of that opinion, that I do believe at the local level, Jake, there should be more mandates. There really should be. We're talking about life and death situation.
more mandates? He's talking about vaccine mandates here at a local level. But ruling class bureaucrats like Fauci believe mandating for everything. Government knows best, he will tell you. You, all of you out there, know nothing. And the liberal zombies worship everything that man says. Just listen to CBS's Gayle King.
Dr. Fauci, I don't know how many more times you can say to people, listen, it will save your life. I have this problem with some members of my own family, which I'm now going to ban for Thanksgiving vacation. That's how strongly I'm taking what you're saying.
If she's vaccinated, what's the difference? If they're not, she is. It's about choice. But Gayle King doesn't understand what choice is. They want mandates. Government, again, knows best. All of that's neurotic. From threats to go door to door to see if you are in, quote, compliance, to school districts like Los Angeles still mandating kids wear their masks when it's no longer required to do so. Even the CDC gave up on that. LA County is even pushing doom and gloom panic porn, insisting 3,000 new cases of the virus means either vaccinate now or, you know what the threat is, face a lockdown again. Even though the percentage of hospitalizations have dropped to 0.004% of the population. And the new cases, 91% are among people younger than age 65, most of those being younger than 50. Why? Because that's the group with the most unvaccinated people. But guess what? Hospitalizations still remain at the lowest level since the beginning of the pandemic. Because those people now getting infected, the young people aren't getting as sick as the old people were. So yes, people are still getting the China virus. But the young people getting it are not dying. They're not being hospitalized, which means there is no need for mandates. Yet this is what the mainstream media pushes.
What we really need to do at this point is to make vaccination the easy choice. It needs to be hard for people to remain unvaccinated.
Needs to be hard? That's CNN medical contributor Dr. Lena Wen, former Planned Parenthood president, go figure, right? That's a group that despises life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in its quest to kill as many babies as they can. And now she wants to make, quote, life hard for the unvaccinated. She wants us all punished for making our own decisions? I thought with her it's supposed to be about choice.
At some point, these mandates by workplaces, by schools, I think it will be important to say, hey, you can opt out, but if you want to opt out, you have to sign these forms, you have to get twice weekly testing.
All of it is offensive. And it is that kind of intrusive, oppressive government behavior that forced Cubans to the streets. Peaceful uprisings in the name of liberty that we will soon see taking place in Joe Biden's America.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.